Guys, I am so excited. This is my favorite day of the week. Why? Because it's Jock and Nerd weekly live podcast on Blab Day. Let's do this.
It's the Jock and Nerd podcast with your hosts, Anthony and Imran.
Jock and Nerd. Hey, everybody. Welcome. This is the Jock and Nerd podcast. Thanks for tuning in. We are live to Blab. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the Jock.
He's the nerd.
And we are your co-hosts through this empire of stupidity. And of course, joining us always on the Blabs is everyone's favorite felty sensation sweeping the nation, Mr. Rugboy. Rugs, how are you?
Good afternoon. Actually, it's nighttime.
Well, here's
what
the
day
thing.
is this?
What the accurate thing you would say, this is time shifted audio. So the proper greeting is good afternoon, morning, evening, or good night, wherever you are right now, because you don't know when people are listening to this.
Okay.
So
good Earth. I don't know what that means.
Good Earth to you too, sir.
Yeah, I
kind
just
sir.
made up a new saying. Good Earth to you.
So
That's
this
what we're going to say that to each other.
is
Good Earth to you.
Good Earth to you too, sir. This is episode 57 of the Jock and Nerd podcast. We're going to talk about this week's comic book TV shows.
Geek boner.
Lots of geek boner moments this week.
Geek boner moments.
Geek boner mode and
Right.
geek boner moments. Listener, if you want to check out any of this fun live crazy shit we got going on, just go to jockandnerd.com/live. There's a live embed there. You can check out our replays. You can join in the fun. Everyone in the Blab, thanks for joining us. Now, before we go on, if you could do us a solid and click that tell all bird button, it's going to record a little Jiffy GIF and post it out, which is a really neat new thing they have worked into this Blabas.
Yeah, tell a bird.
Tell a bird.
Tell that fucking bird.
Don't you
Tell a
love
squirrel.
Tell a fucking cockroach even. I don't know.
Tell a marmoset if you can find one.
Tell an emu or a lemur. Either one is fine. Dodecahedron. So, but look, despite the fact that we're live on Blab, let's not forget that this is still an audio podcast. Is that not correct, fellas?
Yes.
This is definitely an audio podcast.
We turned it into audio.
So I think what we should do is we've been talking about this. I want to describe what we're looking at, and then I want each of us to describe each other's window for the listener.
Okay.
All
Fair
right.
enough. Yeah, that's a good idea.
So basically, the basic user interface is on the left. There's the title of the show. There's a tweet button, a little Facebook button. On the right, there's a beautiful chat, comment, multi-use box. Whenever somebody tweets out or jump in the room, you see it. You see people comment. We will bounce off the comments. And people in the Blab, if you want to stick around at the end of the show, we open up the seat and we get to geek out with you. But in the middle, there's a series of square panels. Right now, I'm looking at 3 panels. I'm going to start by describing Anthony. He's in the bottom center because I locked the seat out. Usually it's a 4 grid. So here's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at Anthony's head annoyingly way in the bottom left corner of the frame because he never frames his fucking camera, like, in the middle. But behind him, you could see a Michael Jordan poster and some curtains and some lovely wood paneling.
This
Yes.
is correct. Yes.
Anthony, I think you should describe Rugboy's window.
So I think from really close, it looks like Jesus without a beard, but
Yeah.
it's actually a felty looking, I don't even want to use the P word, but it's something like that. And he's got like stubble on his face and like 6 teeth, Spider-Man t-shirt, and he looks kind of like he hasn't slept in days.
That's a pretty good description there.
No
That's
background.
pretty accurate. And that was actually complimentary.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the nicest description of Rugboy he's ever had. Rugs, your turn. So Rugboy's in the top right window, what I'm looking at. Your turn. Describe this top left window.
Oh, if you look, you will see a guy with a crazy Wolfman Jack beard. And for people who are like under like 300 years old, it's basically a beard with white stripes in it, wearing a Spider-Man costume, sitting in front of Spider-Man, like a big Spider-Man poster. And the look on his face looks like he just finished shitting. Pretty much. And I think that's Imran. Am I right?
That's Imran's resting face.
That's pretty good. Wait, you guys, we have to take a technical break because you are roboting on my end. So here's what I'm going to do. You
Who's
guys,
robot? Me?
You both of you, but I think it's because of this camera. It's too fucking high end, and it might be affecting everything. So here's what I'm gonna do. You're still co-host. I'm gonna switch cameras to the other camera real quick. All right?
Sure, do whatever the fuck
Hang
you
in there.
want.
Don't anybody go anywhere. I will be right back.
I think that whole my camera doesn't work thing is bullshit. I think he has to take a shit.
I completely agree.
Right now. Because he had that look on his face when I was describing him. And then he had to make that quick exit. So something's up.
I think something is up. I think he is taking a little quick number 2.
Yeah. He's
coming back.
Oh,
fuck.
I
That's
was
a different angle.
It's
Too
a little
close.
bit. It's
I
a
can
little
see
bit.
your nose up your nose.
With a rubber hose, Barbarino.
Yeah.
You're like a Picasso. Like from far away, you look all right, but then when you get up close, it's all fucked up.
Good from afar, far from good, my friends. That was my nickname in high school.
Oh, shit.
So, yeah. Whatever. The sound is much better now. So,
Is it good?
Okay.
yeah. So that goddamn camera, I guess it's just too bad.
It's just too good.
The blab can't take it. No, now everything is lovely. So we were describing each other's windows. That was a lot of fun. Other than that, I don't really have much more show news. Ruggs, you didn't did you go pop into Kermit and Friends at all this week or no?
I just did.
Oh, today?
Yeah, I did. Was on for like 3 seconds. Like I literally had no idea what was going on. I got the Anthony treatment. They don't like me there anymore.
Oh no!
Like,
they
the
did
chat-
Anthony treatment.
Oh shit! Wait a
chat-
minute,
The chat hates me now for some reason.
Rugboy, have you overstayed your welcome? You're good. I mean, you need your Rugboy dose. You got to go in Rugboy doses.
I was never. I go on. If I go on once a week for like 10 minutes, that's a lot.
But they love you. How could the chat be turning on you?
what are
No, they don't
they
like me
turned on
there
you?
anymore. Yeah, they don't like me anymore because like I'm not gonna start doing the shit that they do, which is just fight with each other. Like I'm not a fucking cockfighter. I don't go in and just fucking start shit with people.
Yeah, don't give
what I mean?
give in to that.
I
Don't
want to
give
talk
in
to Elisa. I want to freaking find out about her. I want her to talk to me and find out about me. I actually want to talk to some of the people and have an actual conversation. But it's all like this. There's this drama, and I don't know where I fit in. So it's like I go in there and I don't know what to say. I really have no idea.
That's why we got to have her over on the regular podcast feed, have a nice, friendly conversation. Everybody gets to know everybody else. It'll be very interesting and entertaining.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
All righty.
We have to just settle it. She wants us to go back on her show and use her show to do the interview. And I was like, I don't want to do that because
No, the point
we need
is
the control. We need
Yeah.
to be able to stop her from like throwing other people on and throwing people off. We need
Right.
to have like a like a cage match. Four of us go in,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Only one man standing. No, that's the thing. Like, we just need her on our platform. And, I think she'll be relieved that she can actually talk and like there's a bunch of people commenting and watching. Like I don't even know if she knows what that's like to have a conversation without
I
people
don't know. I think she
commenting on
just feels
everything.
safer in her environment, which I don't. It doesn't bother me.
Yeah. Just a controlled environment. We're nice people. We'll be nice and respectful. And we just, like you said, I really want to get to know her. I think she's really interesting, really fascinating person.
We'll see what happens.
We'll work it out. All right, fellas, look, I got a little bit of news, not much, really one big thing and another thing. So let's jump into that.
The Jock and Nerd Podcast.
Really, the only big news thing this week that caught my attention was the casting of Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Negan on The Walking Dead. Or is it Negan or I was listening to a podcast and now I don't know how you say his name. Because they were
We'll
saying,
go with Negan.
yeah, I'm going with Negan, but these people were saying Negan.
Negative.
Well, is this one of those things again where you take a word that everyone can pronounce and you fuck it up?
I wouldn't, except I heard someone else pronounce it completely different, and I was like, what? No, it's Negan. Anyways.
What's up, Negative?
What's up, Negan? That's my Negan right there. So
Oh, shit.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan, I got a picture. I'll put a picture in the show notes, jockandnerd.com/57. This episode 57. But he was in Weeds. He was the comedian in Watchmen. And then he went on to do Grey's Anatomy. Then he was on this new show Extent. Then he went on to do The Good Wife.
He was in Losers.
He was in Losers. And what I didn't know is he's playing Thomas Wayne in Batman vs. Superman.
Oh, shit.
Really?
Yeah, there's a lot of he's got like 3 nice comic book credits now.
Oh,
I like him as Negan. I'm just gonna jump in. He's got the right amount of masculinity to fit Negan, and he looks like someone that's gonna curse like a fucking sailor.
Well,
And that's
that's
what
the
Negan
only
is.
problem with how do you do this character on AMC, because in the book, people, if listeners, if you haven't read the book, every other word out of Negan's mouth is the fucking F word. And it's very well done, though, and it's part of his character. But physically, yeah, dude, he looks like the guy from the comic books, and he could be a badass. Ruggs, what do you think?
I never read Walking Dead up to that point, so I don't even know about this Negan.
So this dude makes...
Yeah, describe him, Imran.
All right, this dude makes the governor seem like a fucking Boy Scout. Basically, he's out there in the world, and he's running a protection racket, him and his mob. He goes to communities, and he goes, hey, you want protection? I'll protect you. We just want half your shit. We want half your food, half your supplies, and if we don't, somebody's knees are going to get broken, right? So he is this bad motherfucker, very likes to swear a lot, and he has a bat named Lucille that is wrapped in barbed wire.
Oh shit!
It's and he walks around waving this thing around. He's very menacing. There was in the book, he had a run-in with Carl, and he actually kind of got to respect Carl. And do I want to say what happens in issue 100?
I don't know.
Regarding Negan and one Glenn, which is why I don't think he's dead. Should we just, I don't know.
Yeah, fucking spoil it. It's been, yeah, whatever.
So
hit the spoiler button.
Okay, hold on. This is a comic book spoiler. In issue 100 of The Walking Dead, Negan captures these dudes on the road. The whole group, Rick and Maggie and Andrea, everybody's there. He makes them sit down in a circle right in the middle of the road. He pulls Glenn in the middle of the circle and proceeds to graphically and violently open his skull with the bat Lucille in front of everyone.
So he kills Glenn.
Yes, and but the drawing, it's a full page. It is so fucking disturbing, dude. You like literally his eyes are out and his brain is spilling out, and it's so graphic, and you're like, what the fuck just happened?
This nigga is crazy.
This Negan is crazy, dude. That's the thing. When Negan shows up, Negan's gonna get crazy. Now, Negan eventually gets caught by them, and he's put into jail, and he still fucks with them like psychologically, but goddamn, he's a great character. So I'm
got a weird code of honor too, where like he doesn't believe in rape, but he has like 1 million wives.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he'll like kill people, but he's just like no rape, absolutely no rape.
Oh, that was what I was gonna think. I was like, if you're gonna go in and like take half of everybody's stuff, you take half of the nani.
Take half of the women also. Yeah. I take half your women. Well, you know, everyone's got.
He leads a group called the Saviors, from what I've gathered.
That's right. They're called the Saviors. Yes.
Yeah.
Now they could tie this in to
the wolves.
To the wolves, or there's another group out there. They're like skinwalkers. They're led by this woman named Alpha, and they're a lot more tribal group, and they wear walker skins to disappear and blend in. And at one point in the book, like they think the walkers are talking because they're whispering, and the crew is freaked out. They're like, "Oh my god, did they start talking?" But it's this group of people who literally wear the skins of walkers and blend into herds and fuck shit up. So there's a bunch of things they can pull from. They got lots of things to pull from. It'll be interesting.
Yeah,
I'm interested.
I'm liking it. Before this episode, I watched the Morgan episode of Walking Dead, so
almost
caught up, guys. Almost.
Hold on. Yeah, we need a Jock Walking Dead update. So you are one episode out, basically.
One episode out from being caught up with the mainstream.
Wow,
snap! That means
he's all grown up.
Oh, he's all a little boy. Our little boy's all grown up.
One more and my balls drop.
All that means is next week we may be talking about the new show.
Maybe.
It's gonna be 5 goddamn shows.
But we can manage.
We're gonna have to pop the cherry finally. So that's exciting. Well done, Anthony. Good power binge watching there.
That's what happens when you.
I have a new respect for you.
And then another thing I just wanted to bring up, and I just saw this today. There's this dude. His name is Ivan Kander. He has written and directed this fan film. And obviously you can see I'm a big Spider-Man fan. Go figure.
Oh, really?
Yes. There's this, it just went up on YouTube. It's called Spider-Man Lives, a Miles Morales story. And I'll put the link in the show notes. Let me see if I can put this link in here. It's like a 10-minute fan film, pretty much introducing Miles Morales as Spider-Man. And then, you know what? It's really well done. It's well shot, high production value. It looks great. I don't see why this couldn't be expanded to a thing. It's produced by this guy Chad Horn, Bart Tales, And you can go to spidermanlives.com, I guess, to get more info, but I just watched it and I was kind of impressed. And
Did you watch it, Tony?
Nope.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
You didn't like it?
I mean, the conceptual, like the best part of the whole thing was them watching the news.
In the beginning, yeah, because it starts out like from the Ultimate Spider-Man universe with Peter Parker's death. And, Miles and his dad and his mom or whoever are watching the news. And there's a bunch of Easter eggs in there.
Yeah, but then once they get into that thing and they're fighting in that room, I was like, I wasn't really caring for it. But there was like a little bit of production value in there. But I mean, I wasn't impressed. I've seen much better fan films.
You do see the suit at the end? What do you think?
I'm watching it now. Yeah,
I thought the suit wasn't bad.
So it looks all right.
You've seen better Miles Morales fan films though, for like someone to
but I mean, there was like a part where they're like that girl that they have that's the center of the whole thing.
Yeah,
she's a terrible actress.
Yeah, who was she supposed to be a character? I couldn't figure it out.
I don't know. See, that's the thing; it was unclear what was going on.
So that's I have like Iron Fisty type powers.
This guy looks a little too old to be Miles.
He looks a little too old. Thought that. Yeah,
he looks like he's in his early 20s.
I will give you that. But
Miles is like 11.
As a proof of concept to like start a TV series or a movie, like this is a great sketch, let's say, for that.
Like,
Ruggs is going to disagree.
Yeah, I mean, like, I know you want to like it because you like Miles Moranis. I think you like Rick Moranis.
I like more.
You like Miles Morales, so you want this to happen. You like it. I think, okay, I looked at it and go, hey, someone made a fan film, and it's okay. I was like, oh, that's cool, but like,
kind of see it on the CW, maybe a little bit.
Nope.
No?
I haven't even watched it. I just want to be contrarian just because you like Spider-Man so much.
You know what? Fuck you guys then. Moving on. But look,
I didn't hate it. I just wasn't like impressed by it.
All right, look, listener, check the show notes. We put it out there. Give us your thoughts. Send us an email, show@jockandnerd.com. Whatever. Tweet us. It's we'll tweet it out too. But I'm throwing it out there. I'm trying to give a guy some props who, like, they fucking put some shit together. That's all.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Listen, we got a lot of TV shows to talk about. Let's begin.
Jock and Nerd. Prepare to be spoiled.
That is your first of 4 official spoiler alerts, listener. Don't say we didn't warn you. We're going to start out with the new show in rotation this week, Supergirl on CBS, first season, episode 3, called Fight or Flight, picking up exactly where it left off last week, interview with Cat Grant in the air. And my question is, Cat Grant's the reporter. How the fuck? The first words out of her mouth should be, Kara? Like, why? How do you not know this is that you work with this girl? How do you not recognize her?
Yeah.
That's probably the least of your complaints.
No, I mean, that's a huge complaint, actually. I mean, I'm actually I've kind of flipped a little bit on this show, but
shit. Oh boy,
shit!
All right, Anthony,
a little bit.
Kick it off.
It's because of the fappening.
Well, after last week's shocking revelation, listener, go back listen to episode 55. It was a Rugboy turned us on to something that makes watching. It makes watching. It was listen. I'll tell you what, Ruggs. It makes watching the show a whole different experience.
Yeah, you see her in a whole different light now.
I have, like different things are happening when I watch the show now that weren't happening before. So
yeah, there's different kind of shock and awe.
Oh yeah, lots of shock and awe. So, you guys, if you want to know what that is, you got to go watch The Last Blab or check out episode 55. But Anthony, what did you think?
Well, I mean, you brought up the point about her not being recognized, and I do. It does take me out of it that she is walking around with no mask on. Like, I agree. It's just shit. It's complete shit. But I actually kind of liked this episode, which is surprising. So mainly because of Superman. I think the last,
really? Okay.
The last part where she's like IMing Superman, which is kind of stupid, but. She's like, says something, and Superman just responds with, "You're doing great. You're doing a great job, Kara." Smiley face. That moment right there captures the essence of Superman better than Zack Snyder ever did in Man of Steel. Like that's exactly what Superman would say. He's like, you're doing great. You're awesome.
It was like
it was a very nice moment,
cheesy and charming at the same time.
But that's Superman.
And she just wanted some kind of validation, and at least Clark isn't a dick. I was like, where the fuck is Clark in all this? Come on, stop being a dick. But basically, Supergirl fights Reactron, this really lame villain. Did they make this guy up? How the fuck can Superman not beat this guy? First of all,
agree.
Yeah, it was
with that.
But Superman didn't want to beat him because he didn't want to kill him.
Like, I think when we apply our nerd logic, everything falls apart. But like
that's
the audience that watches this, they don't really give a shit about all what we're picking apart. But anyway, so Supergirl's getting the shit beat out of her at Reactron, and we get to see. So we were wondering, are you going to see Superman? You get to see a blurry CGI off the frame Superman for a second.
You get to see his leg.
You get to see like his arm and his back and his leg, and then he texts her later, IMs her to see how she's doing. And at first I was like, oh shit. Oh, they gave us Superman. I was not.
But don't you think it's odd that like Superman doesn't like stop and talk to her and be like, hey, you're out there now. All right, cool. Like, let me give you like a pep talk. He fucking drops her off and then IMs her later.
Yeah, he's kind of a dick.
It's one of those weird things where they can't really use Superman, but they want to use him. So it's made for this awkward moment. I don't know. I just liked that part, but I will agree with nerd logic. Reactron is not the fucking guy that has Superman's number.
Yeah,
that's
how
not
does that work?
That is not the guy. And Supergirl is not the girl that's going to beat the guy that has Superman's number. If you follow what I'm saying.
Not since she just figured out how to be Supergirl. And plus,
so that was weird.
How does that molten lead trick work? Like, if you stick your hand, okay, I get she's impenetrable. If you stick your head in hot liquid molten lead, when you pull it out, it's gonna dry, and it's gonna what? It's gonna get hard, right?
Well, go ahead, Rug.
If he's touching it.
I was gonna say you can't superhero logic. You can't even.
Why is she able to move her hand when it's...
Yeah, but you can't dissect that because you love Flash, and Flash has the worst superhero logic ever.
All right, like let me try and defend this with Rugboy logic.
Okay, hey, hold on.
Here's the rundown. Okay, so if she takes her hand out of the lava, it's not gonna dry instantaneously. It might dry over time, and it's still pliable at that point.
Okay,
and then it'll harden over time. The only thing that I didn't like is that she grabbed the fucking whatever that radioactive bullshit was on Reactron.
Yeah.
And there were still gaps that radiation could have leaked out. Like it wasn't like completely encased. So I had a little bit of a, and then the show was like talking to her like 5 feet away.
Yeah.
And you should be fucking mutated at this point with that much fucking radioactivity.
The show does. I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't have its flaws. I'm saying this episode was actually okay in the fact that the Superman moment, the stuff with Supergirl trying to like find herself, I thought was okay. And I like actually Jimmy Olsen. So, and he had a bigger role in this episode.
Yeah, I love that he has the signal watch. That's a fun little Easter egg. And I do like his. He's kind of coming to terms with his relationship with.
He's also looking to get out of Shadow. Yes,
he's similar to Kara, and he's afraid of losing her, and he starts to warm up to her, and then fucking Lucy Lane. That was kind of neat to see Lucy Lane, Lois's sister, and his ex is going to come and further fuck things up. What did you guys think of Maxwell Lord?
He's cool. He seems like a slime bucket.
Yeah, I mean he's just like exactly as Rugboy said, a villain for later. That.
They're gonna build him up to be the bad guy. They already also alluded to Lord Properties and Arrow too.
What really?
Yeah, that building that they broke into was a Lord.
No, that was
Cord.
Oh,
Blue Beetle Ted Cord. We'll get to that. That's an Easter egg.
That's a Rugboy meme. Fuck up Osiris.
Oh shit!
Sorry.
I love how. Did you notice that Purd Happily from Parks and Rec is the news guy in Supergirl world? Purd. You heard with Purd? You guys aren't Parks and Rec guys? You never watched that?
What?
Nope.
Anyways.
Does that have superheroes in it?
No, it doesn't.
The show is actually...
hey, Do-Right's here.
Do-Right's here, though.
Yeah, Do-Right's going to hang out. Do-Right's getting in right as we open. We have booked him for the after show because what's up, D? But
what did you think, Imran? I mean, I'm hearing a lot of narration, but what did you think?
So I found 2 articles that were both like contradictory. And I found
You
like
didn't
the
find
one
that shit.
article.
I'm the one that sent it to you.
No, I found one of them, IO9, and you sent me the other one. So
Okay.
one of them says that the problem with Supergirl is this winking a nod to Superman and how they he's IMing her. But this other one made a good point where if you look at these first 3 episodes as a story arc, it kind of works as a 3-episode story arc, and it kind of it makes more sense. But it's still like, I don't know, it's still too broadly pandering network for me. Even the titles, right? Episode 2 was called Stronger Together. Episode 3 is called Fight or Flight. These are fucking boring, pedantic titles. And
I agree.
And that's like what the show is.
And I hate the music.
Yeah.
Oh, can I bring up the music?
Yes, do.
I wrote in the show notes. I don't know if you guys saw that. At one point towards the end, it's Kara and her sister, who I forget her name. They're eating ice cream or talking about shit, and Girls Just Want to Have Fun is playing in the background.
Well,
Oh man!
the episode before they used Pat Benatar, Hit Me With Your Best Shot. Remember?
Yeah.
So like, this is the tone. This is the show. Like, this is what we're in for.
Yeah. I don't think it's for us. It's just not for us, really.
Look, they're trying to right the ship as best they can in this. I think that they have already caught on to some of the problems and they're trying to like work on them. See, my biggest issue is that Kara, I don't really know who she is. Like, I don't really know. Is she the girl at the Bugle or whatever the fuck that place is? What is that called? The magazine?
Cat something.
I don't even know what it's
Cat
called.
Scratch Fever. Whatever she's at the newspaper, or is she the when she's Supergirl? She's kind of a more sassy person. She's like more like fuck you.
Yeah.
So like, which one is it? Like, sometimes she acts like the girl at the newspaper at home. And then she puts the costume on, and all of a sudden she's kind of a different person. So I can't really get a handle on what the act is, what is the extension of her personality, which is which.
I'll tell you what I did like, though. You know how I jab at millennials all the time? Well, Miss Grant is on the same page. Remember? She was like, she called her the Millennial Falcon. And then she's like, Supergirl's entitled. What gives her the right? She doesn't know what she's doing. She's an incompetent idiot. And I was like, right on. I can relate to that sentiment, and so that was fun. But if you're any kind of reporter, this is your fucking assistant. What's the matter with you?
Yeah, that does suck. I would also say the guy that's playing Hank Henshaw acting is just terrible. The line delivery is awful on that guy. I guess he is a robot, so maybe that's why he's so like wooden. But I don't think he's trying to act wooden. I think he's trying to be like authoritative, and he just sounds like he's
and the acting from those Kryptonians and Astra was very stiff, and I did not enjoy that. But that seems
another thing I brought up last week too is, again, the fight scenes. They're not throwing any weight in their punches. So I guess this episode was below average. Now that I'm thinking about it, now talking with you guys.
Well, this show is just like, this is what it's going to be. I think I don't think we're going to get that much better. I think they blew their load on the first couple of episodes.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think we're going to see more of the same shit. The only thing that's going to get better is maybe the acting. You know, maybe like they'll sink into their characters a little bit more.
It seems like they're in a formula where they want to have these villains come in and teach Kara a lesson. Like, so every episode she's learning a new thing about, standing on her own or fighting, like doing things the right way or using her powers like better, more efficiently. So that's kind of the formula right now.
Well, I mean, it's the same, and it's kind of like, I think it's going to be the same formula as the other Berlanti-Kreisberg shows.
That's how Flash is, yeah.
Yeah, you have a villain of the week, but then you have this overarching thing going on and a bunch of relationship things.
What makes Flash so much better to you guys, in your opinion?
It's the fucking cast, dude. It's the cast and the chemistry that they have together makes it more believable and makes you just buy into it easier.
Like, okay, you got in Supergirl, you got Jimmy Olsen and Kara, which are probably the best actors in the whole show, and everybody else sucks balls. And then Ally McBeal's okay too.
Ally McBeal's not bad. I mean, it's close to Flockhart,
Yeah,
you could tell she's got some underlying issues.
Yeah.
She's got some her character has underlying issues.
Yeah, but everybody else is very flat and like very, very like soap opera ish.
Yeah, that's the thing, and that's the tone of CBS. It's never going to go away. It's like a late night soap opera acting tone, and this is just what the show's going to be, fellas. Like that's what we're in for. Like it or leave it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that Flash has got the best actors of a comic book show. I think.
Hey, Ruggs, have you read any good? Can you think of a good Supergirl comic?
Whoa, that's a tough one. I don't read like individual Supergirl.
Well, I was Googling around a little bit, and I know you mentioned you're a fan of Jamal Igle, right?
Yeah.
So I think there's a book by Sterling Gates and Jamal Igle. It's called Supergirl, Who is Superwoman? And it deals with like another, and apparently that's pretty good. I didn't get to check it out, but
no, I actually have heard about that.
Yeah, that kept coming up. So if you want a good superhero comic book read, I'll put that link in the show notes. jockandnerd.com/57.
I'll ask for it for Christmas.
Oh, there you go. Put it in your fucking wish list there, Ruggs. When's Felty Christmas? Is it the same as regular Christmas?
It's regular Christmas. I don't get my own holiday.
Mr. Durite wants to know, why is she Supergirl? Does he mean like philosophically or technically? Or like, how did she get the job?
Or how did she get the name?
She applied, I guess.
Did she just, did nobody else try out?
Yeah.
Oh, Superwoman. So
yeah,
go ahead.
Well, in the show, I don't know about comic history. I guess I could look it up.
Yeah,
in the show, Ally McBeal's character names are that, basically.
But that trade paperback deals with a Supergirl and a Superwoman. So it's another relative, I think. I forget. Well, it'll be in the show notes. I'll put a little thing.
Why is she Supergirl?
Yeah.
Maybe she didn't get her period yet.
Oh, maybe that's right.
Maybe Kryptonian's period started at like 30.
Oh, shit. Do right, and Rugboy nailed it. All right. So, yeah, CBS, blah, 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 Supergirl. I'm done. Let's go to the next show.
The Jock and Nerd Podcast.
Strap yourselves in, you fucks. Spoiler time.
We're talking about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. This is the Jock and Nerd Podcast live on Blab. Thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in. Blabbers, stick around at the end of the show. We're going to open it up and hang out with you guys and geek out. This week's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was called Chaos Theory, 3rd season, episode 7. And we learn, it gets good. We learn about a lot of revelations. A lot of secrets are out. Fucking Garner's spot is blown up pretty much. His shit is he's done.
Yeah. Everybody knows that he's the Lash.
And we find out how he became the Lash.
Yeah.
Because that was my question last week. I was like, has he always been Inhuman?
Yeah.
So 6 months ago, while investigating Afterlife, he's got some book and some fucking mist comes out.
He got a booby track book.
Yeah, he got a booby track book. And it seemed to have kind of enhanced what was in him already. Since he was kind of this like judgmental shrink who was deciding these people if they're worthy to be in this team, and that's kind of like what his job was there. Like
I'm glad you're explaining this because I didn't really understand.
It seemed to enhance that, but to the nth degree where he's like, I have to kill these people. You don't understand. I don't want to. And there's that great moment where he tries to compare himself to May and the cavalry incident. And he may have a point,
but she didn't want to do it. He kind of wants to do it.
I guess he kind of. That was innately in him, but then also, and it shows that she's willing to do what needs to be done as a last resort. But he's a little more like jumping right to the lash. Like he was daydreaming about lashing out on Joey. I thought Joey was a goner. Also, I was like, oh fuck, he's gonna take him out. He doesn't want him.
Joey.
Yeah, Gutierrez, Melty.
Oh, I thought you were talking about
Melty Man.
Melty Man. I don't know what his name is. It's a cool power. You can fucking melt lead and metal and shit down. So
you can make giant metal balls.
Yeah, that's gold balls. That's X-Men. That's different.
Oh.
But Lincoln comes back into the fray, and he's kind of with the team now because he's the first one who tells Mac like lashes on S.H.I.E.L.D. And then I love how May knows and doesn't tell anyone, and then just goes and confronts him on her own.
Yeah, there was a lot of angry May face going on.
A lot of distraught May.
Yeah.
I mean, what'd you think of it? I mean, what'd you think, Rugboy, of the show overall?
I mean, this is what I remember is that we all find out about the origin of Lash. May's on the hunt for him, and looking up files and shit and getting the goods. And then there's something going on with the Fitz and Simmons, right?
Oh yeah.
Where she kind of like he hears the fucking recordings, and while she was in the other part of the universe or whatever, in that where was she? In the Phantom Zone?
We don't know yet. She
Yeah,
was
I'll
somewhere.
tell you what. As much action in that storyline was so huge, I really loved the moments of Fitz and Simmons. Like, it was totally charming,
Yeah, that was
very
good.
heartwarming. Those two, amazing performance from those guys. Basically, Simmons gives Fitz the phone, and he starts seeing the pictures of Will, and he gets a little smashy, maybe frustrated, but then he hears all like the love letters Simmons recorded to him while she was over there.
They're playing with the Fitz and Simmons being this kind of star-crossed couple.
Yeah,
where they have this love, and you want them to get together, but there's always something that gets in the way.
Yeah,
that's true.
I kind of love that.
And then at the end, we find out that Price is working for Powers Booth, wherever that character is.
First of all,
Rosalind?
Rosalind. That guy's name is Malik, and he's like the new Hydra guy. First of all, how about a huge fucking Powers Booth? I love Powers Booth, dude. The man, anytime he's on screen, that voice, he commands presence. He was amazing in Deadwood. I don't know if you watch Deadwood on HBO. Fucking Powers Booth is great. I was so happy to see him on there. I was like, yay, Powers Booth.
He should have a booth that gives him power.
He needs a booth. Powers. Come down to the Powers Booth. Powers Booth.
I actually kind of hated that moment. With Rosalind being a double agent, I'm like,
because you wanted what Coulson to get some of that.
Well, he did
get some, but
we find out right afterwards he's banging.
Well, it's more the fact that this is S.H.I.E.L.D. and they're so fucking stupid again, and they're getting duped again. Like, God damn it!
There's a lot of secrets.
There's secrets, but like, S.H.I.E.L.D. should be like a step ahead of everything. Like, Coulson should never let his guard down.
I mean,
the thing that I thought that was awkward is that, okay, they establish her being cool last episode, and they just turn it on its ear, like right after.
Too quick. At least draw that out a little bit. Like, I had finally come around on Rosalind, and I was still suspicious.
Yeah.
And then right away, the next episode, they're like, "Oh, we have your trust." We flipped it again.
Yeah, you can't marinate a steak in 5 minutes. You gotta let it soak overnight. You know.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, there's something like, so I don't know what they're doing, because this now connects Ward with this Malik guy, with Rosalind, with stupid S.H.I.E.L.D., with the Inhuman. So Malik was like, speed is of the essence. Ward is like, I need to cut the head off of S.H.I.E.L.D., meaning Coulson. Rosalind's like, I will deliver you, Coulson, post haste. And I'm like, what the shit are they? And not to mention, Rosalind's got a stack of like jelly Inhumans just waiting. Like, this is gonna give Hydra an Inhuman army. And S.H.I.E.L.D's gonna have to fucking deal with this. So I don't know where that's going, but it could be cool.
Isn't this guy though, the Hydra guy? Is he legit?
He's
part of, because aren't all the Hydra people like high-ranking people that are like not really out as Hydra, like they're doing it on the DL? So maybe Rosalind doesn't know that he's like Hydra.
That's possible. He could be.
Maybe they're wanking
her. Yeah, because she has government tendencies or connections. But who knows what's going on there?
All I could think of during the show is when they were fighting Lash. I was thinking, I really kind of want to see Deathlock fight Lash. That's what I actually really wanted to see.
Why didn't they call in Agent Mike, whatever his name was?
Mike Peterson.
Mike Peterson. Yeah, that would have been great.
That'd have been fun, right?
Lash his look grew on me finally towards
his look is okay for me as well.
It's interesting where they noted that he shouldn't be able to change back and forth, and eventually he's gonna stay as Lash. Yeah. But man, you can't take him down. Like, as Lash, he almost killed everyone. Nobody could stop him. And fucking May, like, I love that moment where she didn't know if it was gonna kill him, and she fucking talks him down and shoots him right into the containment unit.
Doesn't he seem a little overpowered?
Who?
Lash. He's basically the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, dude, you can't fucking
you
stop
can't
this
kill
guy.
him.
No,
he can't. The bullets don't affect him.
Nothing does.
He only gets hurt when he's in his human form. He's basically Bruce Banner.
Yeah, that's a good point.
A little overpowered, in my opinion.
I mean, I like how they kind of just put all this information out there. We got to hear, we got to kind of got some closure on Lash. I'm glad they didn't drag it out. So I appreciated that. We got to see his origin. We got to see why he acts the way he does and kind of explain his philosophy. And now he's in a fucking box. So done with the Lash.
We're not done with him.
I think that Simmons and Fitz are going to like analyze him and find a weakness. Like, maybe we don't know what it is yet. Like, it may be some kind of, since it's a Kree influence thing, maybe there's some kind of opposing force that they can use against him.
Maybe.
I
Well,
love,
they did have that discovery that the dude that Simmons was hooking up with on Planet X or whatever had that logo that was the same logo they found in that castle.
Yeah. What does that mean?
Yeah, I didn't really get that, but it's apparently there's a tie to a mysterious organization investigating the monolith or something. Something's up,
So there's some kind of Illuminati secret society,
and that
thing
guy
going
might be a
on.
part of it.
Durite says, "Let's see the Kree." That would be well. We did see the one Kree dude last.
We've
season,
seen Ronan.
right? Yeah, he's Kree.
Oh, and we saw that. Yeah, you're right. That
Yeah,
dude
that
last
one
season.
dude came down when Sif came down.
I want to see Cree Summer.
Kree, she is doing a lot of voice acting. That's what she's doing.
Yeah.
You can hear her.
Only here. Freddie.
There was he called her hog face. Or Lance is like, I think he looks like a hog face. He was trying to make Fitz feel better.
Yeah, I mean, the Fitz and Simmons stuff was fun. Fighting Lash is kind of cool. Other than that, it's all right.
I noticed how Hunter is so much shorter than Adrian.
I know, like
Oh my
that.
gosh.
He's like a head and a half shorter. Like, how did that connection even work? Like, he needs.
There was one part where he's standing on something and she wasn't. I'm like, oh, he's taller than her. And then they cut to something else and they were walking a little bit more and then he was on even ground. And I'm like, holy shit.
She's gloriously Amazonly tall, dude.
Well, and he's like little boy short and like little boy skinny. Like that's why that one episode where he was like fighting through like the Fight Club, I was like, this is not believable. Like he is not the guy that just takes an ass kicking and keeps coming. I mean, that's probably the only thing he can do, but he'd get his ass whipped by anybody.
I mean, if he had a power, it would be cool.
Yeah, if he doesn't have
How about speaking of powers? How about Daisy's new Quake power she discovered? That was kind
where
of
she
neat.
can levitate people, sort of.
Yeah, or like float them down, build like a cushion of air and float them down. And like Flash did the same thing, I think, on the show.
He does his the wind. Yeah.
There's always these weird parallels during the week. I always find. So yeah, I mean, a solid episode all in all. I'm glad we resolved the fucking Lash thing.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, it was good enough that I didn't stop in between commercials and like look at my phone for a while. Because usually, if I don't like the show, I'll just stop and start looking at my phone and get distracted.
Yeah, and I mean, the heart with Simmons and Fitz was really well mixed in. It didn't feel forced.
That's the only thing that's
feel out of
carrying the
place.
show, in my opinion, is the Fitz
really.
Simmons stuff.
I don't think they're gonna get back. I think we're just gonna get a little bit of that like every episode. I don't know when we'll actually get some kind of resolution with astronaut Will.
Oh, is that his name? Yeah, Will. I forgot.
Will.
It's maintaining its silver status. Like it's not quite a gold show, but it's always solid. To me.
I do have to say that all these shows now, remember we kind of in the beginning of the season, we were kind of being like, it's set up. I feel like they're starting to ramp up and be a little more substantial, minus a few things in the third show, which we'll get to. But they're starting to hit their stride, and I'm very happy for that. Let's move on.
The Jock and Nerd Podcast.
Let's spoil some shit, Batman.
All right, that's your second spoiler alert. We're talking about this week's Flash episode, season 2, episode 6, Enter Zoom.
Yes. Fucking awesome episode.
God
fucking
damn,
awesome.
dude. Again,
Fucking awesome.
this is how you make a comic book show that's like a comic book come to life. Because they did some predictable shit. And they took that and then just fucking flipped it on his head, and it got me, dude. I was like, "Holy shit!"
Oh shit!
They did like you said, they did some cheesy motherfucking shit with Dr. Light and Flash like fake fighting, and I thought that was really charming. And then they fucking flipped it on its head with Zoom coming in and looking like a motherfucking badass. That's how you make a villain, right there.
Absolutely, they had like the so in this episode, basically,
narrating everyone.
And I'm just saying, it's Dr. Light. It's the second part. They're trying to trap Zoom, but the wacky scenes of the training and her fighting, and then the mixed with like the high stakes brutality of the end of it, and to put that together, it was very well pieced together.
Yes.
I was gonna throw. I was waiting if Rugboy had anything, but this episode literally had everything you would want in a TV superhero TV show. You had the comedy, you had the little bit of romance with her and Patty, you had the badass villain that is really unstoppable at this point. You had the secret with Harrison Wells. You had some funny stuff with like Cisco, and then you also had did I say the romance too?
Yeah.
Oh, and then you also had kind of the undertone of why Barry's really actually into this is that he kind of wants redemption for his last screw up with Reverse Flash.
That was it, wasn't it? He finally
had
admitted.
everything. You had everything in this episode.
It tied it all together, and then just a crazy cliffhanger ending that you didn't see coming. Basically, they do the old let's bait the guy trap thing, and I love it because they're just waiting there. An hour goes by, nothing, and I'm like, all right. And then they get a little buddy moment with Linda Park and Iris kind of bonding because they both are like, they know the secret, and boom, fucking he shows up, and the brutality of what he does to Flash was awesome. Everybody saw it.
He breaks his spine.
I think he breaks it, or he like, and then
he paralyzes him. He paralyzes him, and he stabs him with the powers the stuff that takes away his powers.
Jesus,
it literally ended like a comic book, like how a comic book would end, where it's like, I can't feel my legs.
That's yes. And then this whole show, that's the great thing, because this pacing, it's like every issue of kind of a Flash comic book with the omniscient narration on top to the one last page cliffhanger and all these things in between. Like I love the pacing of the show. Bugs, what'd you think of the show?
Well, my favorite thing about the show was that there was a certain tenacity in Barry that wasn't really as fleshed out as it was now. Like, he was like, I don't care if I have to endanger Linda Park or whatever. I'm going to get this motherfucker. Like, whatever it takes, we're going to do it.
Yeah.
Because, like, he's desperate. Like, he has this need to, like, you know, as I say, get redemption, you know? So I really like that direction in the character. It gives him a little bit more, weight. So I think it's cool.
It also gives him a little bit of an edge too, because he's proactive, and as you mentioned, he was being an idiot, kind of in endangering someone that had no powers whatsoever.
Yeah, he was borderline dickish behavior from Barry, which was shocking. But when you hear why and what he was really chasing, it's kind of heartfelt. And
I really think that it's weird that they didn't address Garrick at all. Like, he's just gone.
Yeah.
Well, Barry was like, that guy doesn't want to help us.
Yeah, he's like, don't bother with him. But Jay knows the most about
it. Herring?
What's that?
You think they're using it as a red herring to make everybody think that he's Zoom?
Ooh,
or he has something to do with Zoom?
That's possible.
Well, there is that flashback where him and Zoom are fighting, but I mean, that's not out of the question.
It could, but he was telling a story.
Right. No, I know, that's why. It's very possible.
And then Harrison's like, "Why haven't you gotten Zoom yet?"
I mean, we've seen
Zoom yet, So
we've seen in season 1 a body switch, so anything is possible in Flash.
That's true.
This is awesome.
I loved Cisco vibing out on Wells too, and I love Tom Cavanaugh as fucking Wells too. He's such a dick. He's so great. He's like, "Don't touch me. Don't come near me. I want you vibing me." they even are turning it into a verb. Yeah. I love it. And you were gonna vibe me. Yeah, he finally gets him. So now everybody knows that Zoom has his daughter, and that's kind of his motivation. And again, another great moment with Joe and Barry, where after Barry does spill his guts, Joe's like, "Dude, just be happy. Find your happiness. Go get your happiness."
I love Patty too, and how like awkward she is, and she's telling Joe like, we should be honest with one another.
Yeah.
I kissed Barry, and he's like, I don't care. Like, what are you telling me this? I'm not telling you anything.
I think she has to find out that Barry's Flash pretty soon, because she's not stupid, and it's for her not to figure this out would be just it would not be fun. It would be kind of frustrating.
So especially since they tell everybody now that Flash has a huge team
knows.
now.
He told Linda. Like, that was huge. He's like, look, but he, and he was kind of making up for endangering her life. He's like, look, I want you.
If you're dead,
what?
You can't tell anyone.
Yeah, and if this doesn't work out, you ain't gonna tell anyone anyways.
I totally thought Linda was gonna bite the dust in this episode.
Yeah.
I thought they were building her up so much that it was like, all right, Zoom's gonna whack her. Like,
where do you think real Linda is? Dr. Light.
Oh, by the way, she's naked. She's running around naked. Let's not forget that. That's kind of
that's kind of chick running around with her butt hanging out.
Yeah, like look for the naked invisible chick.
She'll probably show up in an episode where he's fighting Zoom, and she'll save him, and then she'll sacrifice herself for Barry.
She didn't want anything to do with it anyway, so she doesn't want any of this.
No, I think it was good. I thought it was a really good episode. I was thoroughly entertained.
So next week, in the preview, it looks like he's in a wheelchair.
And you see Grodd.
Which is very interesting.
Yeah, I
And
wonder
how are they
going
going to fight Grodd with no legs?
I don't know. It's going to be the rest of the Team Flash. You're going to have to.
Maybe he runs on his hands.
Oh, he should be able to, but he doesn't have Speed Force.
He doesn't have speed anymore either.
How long is that gonna? Yeah, man. Zoom.
Well, Zoom doesn't either. He got tagged by one of those.
That's
darts.
right. And wait, what happened to Zoom at the end?
He got hit and ran away
and ran off, but he was hurt. He was hurting. They got him. Cisco got him pretty good.
Yeah.
And then Zoom stabs Barry. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I have to bring up. You brought up how brutal Zoom was. I have to bring up how awesome it was that he brought him to all these different locations and was holding him up by the neck, all beaten, and just monologuing evilly.
Great.
That's straight comic books, and that's fucking awesome.
Like a rag doll, and but in his case, it makes sense because he knows you're not gonna catch me. I'm gonna go around and parade this motherfucker, and then he just ran around the city with his body for a while for no reason.
Just to show I'm the man, I'm the fucking fastest, and I'm gonna catch all your bullets when you shoot at me.
So that's interesting. I mean, he broadcasts the Flash. Your hero is dead. He's not protecting you anymore. So who is he? I think it's an evil Earth 2 Barry, older Barry.
Well, we've got Rugboy saying maybe Jay Garrick. You saying evil Barry. If I had to guess,
or Barry's dad.
Ooh, that's a good point too. Any one of those, I'm going with evil Barry.
I feel like the Earth 1 cast that they're good in Earth 1. I think all of them are evil in Earth 2. I think that's where Killer Frost Caitlin is in Earth 2.
Well, did you catch the Easter egg for Ollie?
Linda Park, Earth 2 is evil.
Did you catch
yes. Oh, that was great too. Yeah. In Earth 2, they're on the news. They said the Hood has been revealed as I wrote it down here.
Robert Queen.
Robert Queen is the Hood, and Oliver died on the boat. Similar to Flashpoint with Batman, where in Flashpoint, Bruce dies and Thomas Wayne becomes Batman.
And I don't know if it was this episode or the past one, but they also mentioned that Atlantis hasn't sank in Earth 2.
Oh, that was the last episode. So that was I think that was a subtle nod to Aquaman. Jay Garrick did say that. And she's and Caitlin wanted to go there. So what a great comic book show. This is a comic book come to life every week. And you just got to enjoy the ride. And the ride is fun. But my theory makes more sense. Linda Park, evil. I think everyone that's good on Earth 1 is evil on Earth 2. And that means Barry should be Zoom. I don't know.
What if it's evil Joe West as Zoom?
Ooh. I don't know.
Right? Maybe.
Could be.
And he just has fight his father doppelganger sort of thing.
Or his actual Henry Allen father. I don't know. All good questions.
All possible, right?
I believe we have one more episode, and I think the episode after that is the crossover, episode 8. So that'll be 2 weeks away. And then finally, and we'll talk about this with Arrow, finally they can fucking get going with this Legends of Tomorrow, and we can just go back to
Can I bring up that real quick? What made this episode awesome and which made the other episode that we're going to talk about not as awesome is this episode didn't have any build to Legends of Tomorrow and could just focus on its storyline and progressing its storyline.
And man, you watch both shows, and it's clear the kind of this is what we talk about the whole time. This building of Legends of Tomorrow is gonna fucking fuck things up, and it's clear the impotence that show is in the next show. Which let's get to. Anything else about Flash, guys?
Nope.
All right.
Strap yourselves in, you fucks. Spoiler time.
Okay. This week's episode of Arrow. This is the Jock and Nerd podcast, season 4 of Arrow, episode 6, called Lost Souls. I again, like Anthony just said, I'm conflicted. It was good and bad for various reasons.
I enjoyed a lot of parts of this episode.
Oh wow! Start, Rugboy.
Yeah. All right, Rugs. Here, let me give you one of these.
Here's the rundown.
I love that one. That means you're.
Well, I don't know. I just like the whole dynamics of things that were going on. There was we hear about Ray Palmer, and there's a little bit of drama there. All of a sudden, fucking Oliver is all self-conscious about what's going on. You don't know if Felicity still got feelings, if it's a responsibility. There's all this drama going on, and then they got to break into Cord Industries to go get the thing.
The quantum, whatever the fuck it was.
The quantum thingy.
A quantum
thing.
dildo. Quantum dildo. I think it was a quantum dildo.
And then there was some shit talking about how Ollie and Felicity are arguing over the fucking microphones.
That was great.
Like, in the inner earpieces, and everybody's just kind of like laughing, giggling as they're about to go in and do this job. Yeah. I was chuckling at that whole exchange.
That's the thing, like pacing wise and how they work the storyline. It was actually very satisfying. Even the fact that Felicity's mom, as crazy as she is, probably has like the most heartfelt, sincere scene with Felicity out of the whole thing. Like that really worked for me. I kind of liked how Felicity was being a bitch in the beginning to Oliver. And
you liked it?
He's like, yo, what the fuck? What's going on? But
I thought about it like when she was being kind of a bee.
Yeah.
I was like, man, this doesn't make any goddamn sense. Why is Felicity blaming Ollie? Like I was like,
yeah,
she's being angry Felicity again. This is the worst kind of Felicity. But then I thought about relationships with girls.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? Women actually do blame men for things that logically don't make any goddamn sense. And I like that Ollie kind of bros out with Diggle, and they're drinking whiskey, and they're just like talking about girls. And it's just like, this is actually kind of like a man's moment right now. This is what women will do.
That was necessary. I love the callback to the trunk and the vodka from the first seasons, because I love those moments where, like, at the end of the day, they would just kind of bro out with each other.
He's just like, you know what I miss about the other thing? That vodka. And he's like, I got you. And he pulls out the fucking whiskey. And he's like, this will put some hair on your chest.
I love how he's like, let's get drunk and go shoot arrows at people. I'm fine. I'll hit the target. Remember, I
enjoyed it.
Looking at this episode from afar, though, there was like, they shoved in so many characters in this episode.
Yeah, dude. We saw
Arrow is bigger than ever.
There's like tons of masks. Sarah Lance is masked up, and you almost forgot that she was still there. Like, that was kind of a weird afterthought. And Laurel, again, making stupid decisions. She's like, nah, she's fine. And clearly she wasn't fine either time. And then Sarah's like, look, I need some space. I got, and of course she's going to make a quick exit. I wish they spread her shit out a little bit longer, her readjustment, but it was in and out. One episode done. Again,
you would like her to spread her shit out.
I'd like her to spread her shit out. But again, that's serving Legends of Tomorrow. We had to get Ray back, and laughably, he's under a glass jar on Damien Dark's fucking desk this whole time.
Where's he peeing?
I don't know. Who's feeding him?
Exactly.
What's going on in there?
I have to mention, I read an article about this show, and it brought up a good point, and I can't take credit for it. I think it was on screenrant.com. But they brought up a point about how Sarah and Adam have both been gone for so long, and you could tell a lot about their characters just by how they act when they first come back. Sarah has been a killer all her life, so she comes back and kills. Adam comes back from like the dead, even though he's not dead, and compliments Ollie on his suit. Like,
and he's goofy.
Look good, and then he's goofy. He's just always been goofy. That's like the essence of Adam, and then that's the essence of Sarah, is that she's this dark character with a fucked up past.
Yeah. That's pretty good. It's consistent.
The dichotomy between them.
Yeah, I love when Reagan.
And they're both going to be on Legends of Tomorrow.
I know. And then, but that's the thing is, Sarah freaks out on a guy. We get Ray, and he's like, "I'm not dead. Nice suit." And but this is all. Let me ask you this: what is this season about so far? Can anybody answer that question?
Okay, so we're all ramping up for the new status quo, which is going to be Mayor Ollie.
Yeah.
And the new headquarters, Mr. Terrific. All right. And Damien Dark is the new villain, and whatever happens, when they have to, overcome his evil plot. And then there's a romance brewing with Felicity's mom, who's hot for an old lady.
Yeah,
she is like, I'm like sitting there like, she's got to be in her 40s and she's still slamming.
She's got a great body
absolutely.
Yeah. And Lance, Donna and Lance hooking up.
Yeah, he's gonna be walking around with a fucking big grin soon. And then he's not gonna give a fuck about any crime. He's gonna be like, I don't give a fuck.
Can I mention Damien Dark already? I like him a lot. I think he's way more intimidating than Roz ever was last season.
Yeah, but he hasn't done shit. This whole time he hired a shitty fucking assassin. And if you're gonna do something already. And what is that weird puzzle board game circuit boardy thing at the very end that he pulls out? Like, what is all that?
You are right. He hasn't done shit. Except, I mean, he does have Lance kind of under his control. But I'm just saying, acting wise, Neil McDonough way better.
Yeah,
Whoever
no,
the fuck
he,
played
he is frightening, like right when you see him. Plus, when did Ollie have time to fucking text with Felicity's mom? Like some of the timing issues were bothering me. I was like, all the shit is going on. You're supposed to be saving this guy's life, yet you're texting Felicity's mom because you're worried she's mad at you or something. Like, come
Yeah,
on.
he wanted to cook.
Yeah, he just wanted to cook his cordon bleu.
Cordon bleu chicken or
I'll
whatever.
make a mean
Yeah,
cordon
there was
bleu.
my favorite shitty line was, "There's no time for cordon bleu."
This show will really ramp up, as I said about the Flesh. This show will really ramp up once Legends Tomorrow build is out of the way.
Everything will be relieved, and we can go back to like dark and the magic. Now, I do like how Constantine's episode has kind of changed these flashbacks and set them on a kind of a weird tone where there's some kind of magical thing happening now.
Yeah.
I don't know if they had that planned at all, and then they're just kind of going with it.
I think magic was always, I mean, if you look at last season in the Lazarus Pits, that's sort of magic-y.
Yeah, it's mystical.
And then now you're building up to this season and Damien Dark and the magic. I think it's a kind of a logical progression. It still is kind of weird seeing Damien Dark fighting Ollie and chains just being wrapped around his neck via magic. Like, that's still kind of weird to me because the show is so grounded in realism, but I'm willing to take the leap with the show.
All right, this is where I am with the show right now. Everybody was fucking complaining that Arrow was Batman light, using Batman villains, all this stuff. Now they're turning this corner where Ollie's like this kind of more happy-go-lucky guy. He's got love in his life. He's texting people's moms. And now he's got this villain that's not really a Batman villain per se.
That's a good point.
You know, in Damien Dark,
Yeah.
There's some magical elements. They're starting to ramp up that, you know, anything can happen in Arrow. So it's now trying to now stamp out its new thing. They made a big mistake by using Ra's al Ghul as the main villain last season, and I think they're recovering from that. And it's going to take a while because they got this Legend of Tomorrow shit in the way. So once they get everybody out, it's all about Damien Dark.
Yeah, I
you bring up a
can't
good
wait.
point.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. What do you guys think of? There's still something that bothers me about like Felicity and Oliver being a couple.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I don't like Felicity and Ollie as a couple either, but
It almost
it's
got
been handled.
saved.
It's not been handled as bad as it was. Last season was terrible.
Yeah.
Felicity crying all the time was just awful. So at least it's not that bad. That's what I was worried about in this episode. She got all bitchy for no reason. I was like, oh no, they're going back to shitty Felicity.
We did learn, like, I feel like she had a great character leap in this episode because she talks about how, you know, she loses herself in Oliver, and that's what was scaring her. And Oliver is like so surprisingly cool and understanding. I was like, I'd be like, fuck this bitch, dude. She's treating me like this. I'm out. But
Sarah Lance is back. We're about to have some beast sex right now.
yeah, what's up with that? He's like,
Yeah.
I got all the lances. He's banged everyone in that show, actually. If you think
Yeah.
about it.
I think they're going to force him back to
Laurel.
Laura.
Yeah.
Laura.
Ugh, I don't know if I like that either.
They're going to force them back together. They're going to.
The thing is it's comic book canon that they get back to. Like, they're supposed to
That's
get back
true.
together.
I just hate that it's the shitty actress that I don't like.
yeah.
I wish Felicity was fucking Black Canary.
Yeah.
And you know, he also does become mayor in the comic books, so they're kind of going that route. But there's just something off with that thing. You know, her mom's speech kind of saved it a little bit for me, and we did get to learn that Felicity is just afraid of being, you know, kind of intimate. But I don't know, something's off about it. I don't like them together. I'm not a fan of them together.
I could see that. I could definitely see that.
Like
It
her
was
and
basically
Ray
the internet. The internet made them together.
Yes, and I feel like
Felicity.
yeah, I feel like the writers needed to try it out, but hopefully they could see that maybe this wasn't working. Like, I love her and Ray together. I think that's great.
Really.
That really works.
I just don't like her in a love triangle. That's not what I want out of Felicity. I do like that she's realizing that she's an awesome CEO. Like, that's cool.
Yeah,
That's great
yeah,
progress for
yeah.
the character. Instead of
Oh
her
yeah,
being-
and that dude,
yeah, go ahead.
that dude that works for Ollie was trying to hook up with Ollie's sister.
Oh yeah,
Alex, yeah, the campaign manager wants to date.
he's got to be like a Damien Dark plant.
You
I
think
already
so?
call it. I'm calling
Whoa,
that guy.
okay.
He's too
Ooh.
fucking random of a character to be like this involved with Thea.
Balls of steel there.
Yeah, really.
It was so out of left field. It's like he hasn't been built up enough for me to like him yet. There's
Yeah.
I mean,
something about this
and I
guy.
think, or is it an effort to make her try to have her effort to have a normal life? Like, she's just trying to get past all this shit.
Maybe.
And
Now,
she's like, "I'll try
I
that."
see him. I see him hooking up with Thea, Thea falling for him, then Red Arrow comes back and saves her. That's fucking what's gonna happen. Roy's coming back to save her.
Is Roy coming back?
I don't know, but I'm just calling it right now.
That's not bad, Ruggs. What do you think?
Do you have any different thoughts on who's dead at the end?
Oh yeah.
See, I think it may be Felicity.
It's a good mystery because this is the same as like Who's Zoom. Like it's something that changes every week in me. I don't know. I'm still gonna go. Fuck, man. You caught me off guard. Diggle or Felicity, right?
I feel like if they're working,
or maybe Lance.
I want it to be Thea, but
Thea too.
Or Lance.
They can't kill Felicity. That would be they would upset the whole internet, dude. They would just fucking. They would be.
Everyone's rooting for it to be what, Thea or Laurel, right?
Nobody cares about Thea. Like Thea is completely
stupid
useless.
Laurel
or Laurel. They're not going to give us that because Laurel.
No, or they could do Diggle too. Like Diggle's important, but not that important. Like
Well, Diggle and Felicity are the made-up characters.
Yeah,
they're not the one. They're not canon at all.
No, Felicity Smoke is a real person, isn't she?
Felicity Smoke is a character.
Was she?
Yes.
Was she? Oh, okay.
She had,
but she didn't have that huge a role, right?
She possibly not, and she had black hair in the comic books. But
is that right? Okay.
She is a character.
But her mom says she dies it.
Yeah, that's true. That was good.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Yeah, she was 1984.
Yep. Oh, wow. She goes back to the 84. What was I going to say? I forget.
She was a Fury of Firestorm character.
Oh, that's right. They got a lot of Firestorm characters too that are and Batman characters. And I love the Easter egg to Cord Industries because really Ray was supposed to be Blue Beetle originally, and then they couldn't.
Is that right?
Yeah, they couldn't use Blue Beetle. So
why?
Because they're working on some fucking Booster Gold Blue Beetle something somewhere.
Booster Gold.
That's the only problem with the only thing still about Warner Bros. DC is their shit is all over the place on multiple networks, multiple continuities, multiple universes, different people playing the same guy. It's a fucking mess sometimes.
Yeah, you're right.
It's going to get confusing, especially when you got another guy playing Flash.
Yeah, that's going to be something that's going to be stupid.
What the fuck? The one thing you can say about Marvel is they kind of have all their shit in one place, but that's because of Disney and yada yada.
Yeah. So we done with this guy?
Yeah, we're done with this. So. Hey, we got some reviews and we have a feedback section.
Yay!
Jock and Nerd. Thanks for hanging out in the blab and thanks for listening to the podcast. This is the Jock and Nerd podcast. Before we wrap it up and open it up to the blabbers and geek out with you guys, I just want to give a shout out to a couple of new reviews we got. One of these, the title is These Guys Are Great, 5 stars by Benjamin Tyler. While by sight, these podcasts may seem long. These guys work so well together that they make time fly by as you listen. The banter and connect they have, the banter and connection they have bleeds well into the show. I think that's what he meant. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Benjamin Tyler. And then another new one, a must-listen podcast by Samster A. Imran and Anthony provide an entertaining podcast that you don't want to miss. Sit back, listen, and prepare to be entertained. Thank you guys so much for leaving us a rating and reviewing.
Is that on iTunes America?
That is on, they're both from USA, iTunes,
nice.
USA accounts sent to me by this awesome service. If you have a podcast, check out the service, My Podcast Reviews, for free once a month. They will send you every review your podcast gets from every store, iTunes store around the world.
Wowie.
So far, nothing from around the world.
Well, we've gotten England, right?
Yeah, we got the UK. That's about it. But if you guys want to leave us a rating and reviewing, we'd appreciate it. We'll read it. We'll give you a shout out. It helps us get found in the iTunes store. Just go to jockandnerd.com/review. It'll take you right to our iTunes page. You can subscribe. You won't miss a show. You can leave us a rating, leave us a reviewing, and we'll love you forever. And we'll read your review on the show.
Absolutely.
We should also thank our podcast networks real quick. Thank you to Tangent Bound Network, Weeby Geeks, a place to hang your cape, and podcast.ph for supporting the show. All those links in the show notes, jockandnerd.com/57. Go check out their sites. Anthony, what else?
You can email us. You should email us at show@jockandnerd.com. We have a Twitter, Jock and Nerd Cast. Also a Facebook. Just look us up, Jock and Nerd Podcast. Also, we're on this thing right now. It's called Blab. You can catch out our live shows every Thursday at 7:30 p.m. until there's no TV shows on, and then we won't be doing this. Or maybe we will. Who knows?
We'll just jump on and do something.
Or you can go to jockandnerd.com/live?
Live.
See all our blab shows that we have archived. So
Rugs, where can people find you, Rugboy?
You can find me on Twitter at Really Rugboy. Because I'm really Rugboy.
You are really Rugboy.
That's
The one and only Felty that's sweeping
in the felt.
You see him in the felt, jockanderd.com/live. And finally, tell a friend. Spread the geekery.
Go on iTunes too.
Go on iTunes and then tell your buddy. Give him one of these. Jock and Nerd. People love that. Yep. All right, listen, we're going to wrap it up and we're going to open up the blab in the post show and geek out with our blab friends. Thanks for listening, guys. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the Jock.
He's the nerd.
We'll hear you next time. Nerd.
Imran, I just noticed you're dancing.
Did you like my move? I call this one floating head.
Do right, jump in.
Oh, I gotta open the thing.
I just opened it, didn't I?
Oh, there we go.
There you go. Okay.
Mr. Do-Right, the seat's open if you want to jump in.
This is where I'm going to ask him about the Walking Dead Nerd Fest.
Okay.
Whoa, hey,
ladies and gentlemen, joining the blab is Mr. Do-Right. And he's got a awesome screensaver up right now of traffic passing through his window
at very high speeds.
His green screens are always the best. Look at all the lower thirds and the logo there. Right.
What up, y'all?
Oh, hey,
Are you like invisible?
Yeah, I think Do-Right is wearing an invisibility cloak, or he's Linda Park.
He's wearing green, a lot of green.
He's Dr.
I'm stupid.
He's our Dr. Light.
There he is.
There he is in the flesh. What's up, dude? How you doing?
I'm doing excelente.
Everyone, this is Mr. Do-Right from C Stories and Mr. Do-Right on YouTube. Now, Do-Right, the reason you're able to join us tonight is because love that lower third. It has all his information right there. But the reason he's able to join us so early is you did a special Veterans Day show yesterday, correct?
That is correct. How did you know?
Because you told me last week.
Oh, yeah.
How did that go?
Man, it was excellent. I made my co-host cry. And wow. You're doing good when you make somebody cry on camera, because then you're going to go viral.
Absolutely. That's Oprah built a whole career just on that fact alone, my friend. Now, for those who don't know, Mr. Do-Right's co-host is an awesome lady named So Wong, and I love his sense of humor, and they're so great together. Do-Right, I think you found yourself your rug boy.
No, I didn't find a rug boy.
Oh, no.
And I was thinking about that. I was going to say, rug boy, put up a green sheet, record something, and we could do some shit together.
Okay.
Yeah. Rug boy can show up.
I want the real rug boy. I don't want to make no rug boy.
All right. There's again one of a kind. There's no substitution. Do not accept any reproductions unless they were made in China, because that's.
I just want to take a moment to wish a belated Veterans Day to Do-Right.
Oh yes,
and thank you for your service.
Yes,
sir.
Happy Veterans Day, sir. Good job.
I appreciate that. I scrubbed all the decks and waxed all the floors and cleaned up all the cobwebs just for y'all.
Listen, but
so we could all be free.
That's a job. That's a job. That's a job. It's all part of the big machine. It's a job that needs to be done. Everything aids the effort.
You want me to tell y'all a story? I'm gonna tell y'all a quick story. I ain't gonna sit here for long. But when I first got to the Navy, I went to boot camp, and then once you go to boot camp, you pretty much go to your first station. And since I was in submarines, I had to go to submarine school. Now, you don't just go immediately to school. You have to wait because there's a line of people in front of you to go to school. So while you're waiting, they're not going to just let you sit around and do nothing. They're going to find something for you to do. So somebody had a great idea of making a paintball field in the woods back in Groton, Connecticut. And they needed somebody to rake up the leaves in the damn forest. And they got a whole bunch of us to go in the forest and rake leaves. Now, let me tell y'all something. Raking leaves in the fall in the forest is a never-ending job.
That seems like torture.
It's like digging a hole in sand.
It's it's trying to like dump out the ocean with a bucket. You know, that shit
Yeah.
don't stop.
They pretty much told you to rake the forest. Can you
Rake
rake the forest for us? Thanks.
And I'm like, why do we need to rake the forest for a paintball field? Who gives a shit? It don't matter. Needs of the Navy. Get to it. It's like, so that's pretty much what I did. That's what I did to serve my country. So everybody can be free.
Thanks for the clean forest. Now we have a clean forest.
Hey, dude,
What did you do with all the leaves?
Yeah,
Yeah,
go
We
ahead.
just raked it to the side. That's the funny thing. We didn't bag the shit. We just raked it to the side so people can see where they walking when they playing paintball. Ain't nobody watching where they walking. They try not to get shot.
Oh my God.
I would have hit in the leaves.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I put it to you like this. I got a paycheck to rake leaves, and I got like free meals and housing. So don't think I'm complaining.
Listen,
It ain't
before
all that bad.
I got to mention for the listener, Do Right has great stories, and I got to thank you. The last week, you had such an amazing story. It made it to the podcast feed. Check out episode 55 in the post show, and that episode is actually doing really well. So a lot of people heard your story, man, and I got to thank you for coming on and being yourself and giving us great stories. There's
He's
so
fucking
much good
awesome.
shit.
I didn't hear you read any comments about that though.
What do you mean?
Well, I heard, man, Jockey Nerd Show, great podcast. It's the most amazing thing I ever heard. It may take a long time, but goddamn, it's pretty good. I heard that.
Well, look,
When
the
someone
show-
writes that, yeah, we
Yeah.
can't control what people write.
That's a review, and that show just came out like a week
I
ago.
worked hard on that review.
Oh, shit! Rugboy.
Oh, shit.
I told you to stop doing that.
I had to like spell
You-
words.
You gotta stop doing that. You gotta stop telling that stuff on the air, Ruggs.
Why is it bad?
No, those are all honest reviews. No shenanigans happening.
We don't pay a dime for those reviews.
No, it's no, there was no check sent out.
Do
Anthony,
right.
yeah,
Let me ask him real
Yeah.
quick. So do right. I got a proposal for you.
Man, I don't swing that way though, right?
At one time,
Not
in college,
that kind of proposal.
Not even for Anthony? Go
Not
ahead,
for
Anthony.
me.
he's a
Come
handsome
on.
motherfucker. Look at this guy.
Look. I'm not catching, but I'll pitch.
Oh, shit. Jockey Nerd.
This is why we have the Do Right.
Speaking of why we have you on,
Okay.
so I'm one episode away from catching up on Walking Dead.
Really?
One episode away. And me, Imran, and we'll probably have Rugboy as well, and we'd like to have you on. Maybe not on the Blab, because the Blab can be a little distracting, but after the mid-season episode, we
Right.
want to do a huge Walking Dead nerd fest.
Oh,
Where I geek out about every season I've seen, and we can all talk about it together, and we'd love to have you on.
and talk about our favorite moments in the whole.
The whole thing.
The whole
Eh,
shebang.
whole-
I already know
shebang.
what mine is.
What?
Everything. We'll just
the whole
nerd
damn
out for 2 hours.
Right.
In?
Do Right, you in?
Hell yeah, I'm in.
All
I'm
right.
in let's see, how am I in? I'm in like a surgeon trying to take fat out of a big woman.
Oh, shit.
He's in like Flynn, folks. All right, book it. We're gonna have an awesome Walking Dead Nerd Fest, similar to our Godzilla Nerd Fest with John Bellotti and Ruggsy. Ruggs, you
Yeah,
were gonna
is
say
that-
you have a favorite moment already.
Yeah.
Uh,
When they were having sex, when the redhead guy and the girl and the hot girl were having sex in that thing.
And Eugene's watching.
Yeah, that's my favorite moment.
Abraham
Well,
and Rosita and fucking creepy ass Eugene.
Yeah, he was sending it in.
Man, I don't want to spoil the show, but Anthony, what'd you think of Eugene in the beginning? Did you buy his story from the beginning?
Oh yeah, he sold it well.
Really?
I like Eugene. I think he's hilarious. I mean, the way he talks is I'm of absolutely no use to you whatsoever.
Yeah,
I've been standing here for about 5 clicks,
Yeah.
and I thought she was going to be gone for 2 clicks, and now I'm here for 5.
That guy that plays him, he's really funny. He's got great comedic timing. He brings a great kind of comedy to the show without being like overtly funny. Now, had you read the comic book, that was already spoiled for me. I knew what was going to happen.
Oh, see, I didn't know. That's why I gotta
Sometimes it's
stay away.
bad to read the comic. Sometimes it isn't.
Well, we got to go ahead, do right.
No, I was gonna say, why is that motherfucker not zombie kibble by now? He serves no purpose. Look, let me say something. I gotta get this on my chest. Let me get this on my chest. You kill off T-Dog, but you let that motherfucker stay. I'm like, They both useless characters. Both of them.
Yeah, but they got some kind of one black character at a time rule that they're fucking on that show for some reason.
That's not true because they had Michonne, they had Tyrese, they had his sister.
No, it's got to be male. The females don't count.
Yeah.
I'm just saying in their rule, in their fucking world. I don't know.
I'll answer that. I'll try to answer that legitimately. T-Dog, they never even gave him a personality.
He was nothing.
That's
so.
true.
At least Eugene has a personality.
Yeah,
so that's why he's valuable.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about valuable, but at least he's interesting. Just like you said, he's interesting and you like him. T-Dog, that motherfucker, he even apologized for dropping the keys down the thing when he left Merle on the fucking roof.
Yeah.
He should have said, yeah, motherfucker, now what? I'm like, oh, now that's what I want to see. You know, all he was a zombie picking up, putting in the back of a truck, motherfucker.
Yeah.
he had a real gangster name too, and he wasn't all that gangster.
Yeah, he didn't live up to it. I'm like, T-Dog, you need to be capping some motherfuckers. If anybody is putting down zombies, it's not Rick, it's T motherfucking Dog.
That's right.
Yeah, you had to hold the gun sideways and everything.
Yeah. Fuck it. I don't care if you make him a gangster. I don't think that's racist. Make his ass a gangster. I want to see a gangster get in the fucking zombie apocalypse and fuck up some shit.
That would be quite enjoyable, actually. Like, just like a Blood or a Crip wanders in and be like, hey, guys, I'm lost. What's going on? I've been shooting zombies.
This is just a tease for the Walking Dead Nerd Fest. This is fucking awesome.
And just think about it. You already had a white dude that was racist. Why not have the reverse and have a black dude that's basically racist?
Oh,
you know?
I love
Why
it.
not? And that would have had so much more conflict. You would have seen a whole lot more different stories because now T-Dog survived and he's with all these white folks.
Yeah.
And God damn, I'm tired of y'all white folks all up in here. He got zombies all up here trying to eat us and shit. And I'm just trying to fucking get paid or something. I'm like, damn, at least you make some character in this motherfucker. I'm heated. I'm sorry.
T-Dog should have been, don't trust these white motherfuckers except for that dude Rick. He on point.
Right. Are you available to record on weekends as well?
Who, me?
You, yeah.
Man, Sunday I am good to go, man. I work Wednesday through Saturday. So
okay.
And the only reason I'm here tonight is because I didn't have the show.
Because I'm just speculating for the eventual Walking Dead Nerd Fest. We might do it on a weekday so we have a little more time.
Well, yeah, Monday, Tuesday, I'm good to go. And I work every other Wednesday, so man. But you know what? I will take time off just to be here for y'all. That's how much I love y'all.
Whoa,
terrific!
I love Do Right. Look, we'll work out the schedules.
It'll be when the after the mid-season finale. I think that's an appropriate time to do a huge fucking nerd fest.
Huge wrap up. So,
and we can talk Fear the Walking Dead because I know you like that shit too.
Oh man, I love it. That's the only show I still watch faithfully. But this week's episode, it was finally time to slow down shit and have that episode that, to me, really didn't say much of nothing. You know,
it was Anthony hasn't caught up yet, so but
spoiler alert.
It was a little fillery, but
I'm gonna watch it after we're done recording.
Okay, there were still some important revelations. And it was like kind of like, let's stop and breathe for a second. Again, they can't all be fucking balls out crazy. Like, it would lose its specialness.
All I know is I heard Maggie's pregnant.
No, see, he already spoiled the fucking shit for it.
Let me change the subject.
Yes,
so
let's save this Walking Dead. What do we want to nerd out about? Rugboy, go.
I want to know what Do Right watches besides Walking Dead. Like, do you watch TV?
I do. I watch a lot of TV because Sundays when I get caught up, I just binge watch everything I miss. Don't laugh at me because I know y'all gonna laugh at me.
I'm getting ready to laugh at you.
Everyone, that means get ready to laugh.
I see you, Rugboy. All right, so don't laugh. I've been watching Scorpion.
Oh, that's that hacker show on CBS.
It would be a hacker show if CBS had some balls, but no, it's not. It's like these think tank nerds, and they supposed to like figure out how to get through shit. And the first season was pretty decent. Now I'm on this season, and I'm about to stop watching it because it's starting to get stupid. And let me tell y'all something. I don't know if y'all know, but yeah, I was in the Navy, and I was on a submarine. And anytime I see a submarine come on a TV show or a movie, stand by to get that shit critiqued really hard. Because I know exactly what's going on. Like, let me tell you right now, Crimson Tide, Hunt for Red October, bullshit flags all over, right? They had an episode where they was on a submarine. That shit was so wrong that they should have did that shit at the local grocery store, and they probably would have been a little bit more accurate. It was horrible, and it made me lose all respect for the show. It's like y'all was doing so good when y'all was talking about shit I didn't know. Now you start getting in my realm.
So what?
Get the fuck out.
What does? What does?
Oh, wow.
I'm echoing.
There's a little echoey bit of that coming. I think.
No, I think it's. Yeah, I don't know what that was.
It happens sometimes. Just a little readjustment.
Echo.
There we go. We're good.
Rugboy, I know the question you were going to ask. Go ahead, because I want to ask the same question.
Yeah. So what got it? What program did get the submarine shit right?
That was my question.
Oh,
you said
that's good.
Okay, you pointed out two
Yeah.
that didn't. Is there anything that ever got it close?
And you're gonna laugh at me, and I don't remember the exact season, but 24 had a season where they ended off with a submarine. These fuckers actually went to an actual submarine and shot on it. So the scenery, everything was right. However, the sequences of moves weren't right. So one minute you see them going up, then you see them going forward, then you see them going down. But what people didn't know on TV is that they kept going over the same places over and over because you only can go so many places on a real submarine.
No,
what is a real submarine like? Do you right? Yeah.
What is it like?
Like
I mean,
what do the shows get wrong that is not like that is more accurate in your life on a submarine?
The biggest thing that they get wrong is how we act. Now, submarine community is real small. Submarine force is like 5% of the whole Navy, right? So we a real small, tight-knit community. And once you get on board, we still have rules and regulations, and we still have a hierarchy, but it's a little bit more loose. So you can sit here and hold a conversation with the captain. You won't walk on nobody's boat and see somebody just standing at attention for no damn reason. Never in a million years will you see that shit. Nor will you see an officer doing certain jobs. They didn't do that shit. So, you watch one of these shows and the XO has the con. I'm like, since when? The XO is the dive, and the dive is the diving officer, and he tells the people that's on the sticks and make the ship go up and down and stuff what to do. You would never see that. So at least get
someone
the
else
position
would be
right.
on the con. There'd be like a communications guy.
No, the con means control, and that's the person that's in control of the ship at the time. And so it would be an officer, but it wouldn't be the XO or the CO. If the XO or the CO is on the con, that means shit is going down.
What is it?
You see what I'm saying? Not some regular somebody walk on board. Hey, how you doing? XO's got the con.
That means you're in trouble and fucking grab your ankles and kiss your ass goodbye.
And I know this sounds dry and everything, but it's just small things like locations and stuff. Submarine is simple. It's got 3 compartments. 3. You got an engine room, you got a reactor compartment, and you got the forward compartment. That's it. Now, you see these motherfuckers walking through 10 and 12 compartments. What the fuck?
So it's
Where the hell y'all at?
claustrophobic, huh? Like, can you be alone, or it's so small that there's always somebody there?
Well, claustrophobic and not being alone is 2 different things. Now, claustrophobic, you would be fine. Like, I'm 5'6", right? And I'm the perfect height to be on a submarine. If you 6 foot, you're gonna be claustrophobic. Because you're gonna be bent over like this, walking everywhere and stuff, and it kind of sucks. Is there enough space? Yeah, you don't feel too trapped in. There's enough room on the boat to where you can move around. Can you find yourself alone? At the right time. If it's like midnight and most people in the rack, you can find a corner somewhere that you can get some time to yourself. Or you could just go to the rack because nobody else can get in the rack with you besides you because it's too damn small. So you can get some peace up in there. But yeah, you always got somebody in your face.
Do you find the submarine people bond more than, say, if you're on a base or a battleship?
Oh yeah. Because like if you look at a carrier, they got like over 5,000 people on that thing. You can come across somebody you never met, and you could be on there for a couple of years. On a submarine, it's just 150 of us, and when we go out to sea, it's not always 150. It'll be 100 of us or 90 or something like that because we leave some people behind. You know everybody. You know everybody. You talk to everybody. You know everybody's family. And it's pretty cool how that works out. It's a totally different situation than we call them the surface fleet. And everybody on the surface fleet.
What's the longest you've ever been on, like for one mission or for one like exercise or whatever?
So I'll break it down. The longest I've ever been out to sea continuously, like pull out and then pull back in, is 2 months. The longest I've been deployed is 6 months. That's when we left home port, went overseas, did a whole bunch of stuff, blah, 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 blah. You know, the longest I've been underwater was 2 months.
Wow. Did you go? Were you guys going nuts, or you were cool?
No, man. I mean, you're away from the world. I mean, you are isolated from the world. When shit goes down, you don't know nothing about it, right?
Do you sit there and think about being like underwater and in this fucking like basically a tomb?
Oh damn! You make it sound
so you're under like thousands of pounds of water.
Yeah, it's kind of scary, man.
Scare the crap out of me.
Well, I put it to you like this, and this is how I try to explain it to people. You're in your house right now, right? It's dark outside. You may have curtains on your windows and stuff. Right now, you're in a submarine because this is exactly how it feels to be in a submarine. Now, you don't feel gloomy. You don't feel claustrophobic. You feel like you're at home. That's how it feels on a submarine. We spent so much time on that boat. It just felt like our other house. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You can tell you're moving. Like you'll feel the boat going up. You'll feel it going down. When we go fast, you'll feel it like a little shimmer. But other than that, it just feels like you at work.
Can I ask you? Let me ask a follow. I got a friend.
You ask me whatever you want. You don't have to ask me if you can ask me.
I'll fucking ask you then, you son of a bitch.
That's a good point.
All right. I got a friend that's currently in the Navy that's on a sub, and every time he comes back, he seems weirder, like more awkward.
What? Wait, how weirder?
Like socially, like not all. And he came in. I mean, granted, he went on the sub socially awkward, but he comes out like weirder, like not. One of my question is, when you come out of the sub, is it like?
Does it change you?
Yeah, does it change you where you're a little bit? It takes you a while to kind of adjust to everybody again and being around a bunch of different personalities. Like, are there women on the sub? First off, are there women on the sub?
What's that?
Yeah.
Oh, they
is it mostly just male?
Okay. Yes, yeah. It's been like that for years. Now I got to get some information from you first.
Yeah.
Your friend that's in the Navy. One, do you know what type of submarine?
I do not. I know he's working. He has to like watch the nuclear. I don't know, something about nuclear and something.
Damn it. What do you know where he's stationed
Hawaii,
right now?
I think.
Oh, okay. One more question, and then I'll answer your question. You know the name of his boat? Okay. All right. So just so y'all know, you probably don't know, but this is some good information. The way to tell what kind of boat it is by listening to the name. If it's named after a state, it's a boomer, and a boomer is the one with the missiles. If it's named after a city, it's a fast attack. That's the one that goes out and puts a hold on somebody.
That's really neat. I did not know that.
I had no idea.
And I was on the Miami, so that means I was on a fast attack. Now, to answer your question, and the reason I said all of that, it kind of depends on what boat he was on. Fast attack, we get to pull in. We pull into different ports and stuff. We're not out to sea all the time. You know, we do quick missions, things like that. A boomer, they go out 3 months at a time.
I think he's on a boomer.
So they go out.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's gone for like 3 months, then he's back for like 3 months. And to me, always gone for 3 months, then come back for 3 months, then gone for 3 months, and then back. And then all they can do is circles. I mean, they just out there just doing circles.
A little bit.
That would
because I was gonna say you seem pretty socially good. You're good. Like you can talk to fucking people.
Oh well, don't confuse what I'm doing.
That's true.
With everybody in
But-
submarines. They got some fucking wacky motherfuckers.
You got any stories of any wacky submarine people?
Well, yeah, on Sea Stars with Mr. Durant. Rugboy, tell him, Rugboy.
You gotta check it out. Sea stories.
Any so on that show, do you
It's
still
stories about semen.
do you
Yeah, you know what they say? They say that he got a big black tube coming up, shooting out semen.
My big black tube is full of semen,
that's
and they plug it out.
Do you still keep in touch with your buddies? Do you have them on your show that you spend time with?
So my very first live show, I had my captain from the boat on there. He gave me the privilege to interview him, and that was a great honor. Every last person on the boat I'm friends with on Facebook, and we stay in touch all the time. I mean, that's how tight knit it is, man. You know these guys, man. They just like your brothers. So I'm glad that I joined, and I'm glad I went into submarines because I got to experience something that a lot of people
Why did you join
have never
in the first
experienced. Because I was broke and I needed to do something better for my kids. Really, hand to God, that's why I joined. Not because I was patriotic, not because I wanted to serve my country or I wanted to go to school. I was living in my girlfriend's mom's house, and we already had 2 kids, and we were staying in 1 bedroom. And I was making like, I don't know, about $300 something a week. And and don't be with a black woman. A black woman will tell you what's on her mind. I was all kind of sorry motherfuckers. And I'm like, man, I got to do better, but I don't know how to do better. And so one day I said, shit, what if I just join the military? So I called the Air Force. I said, hey, I'm thinking about joining the Air Force. What do I need to do? They said, oh, well, tell us a little bit about yourself. Are you married? I said, no. They said, you got kids? I said, yeah. And they said, oh, hold on. We can't do nothing with you. You not married. You got kids. That's not going to work. So you might want to call somebody else.
Why does that even matter?
Well, because it's the Air Force. Look, let me tell you something about the Air Force. No motherfuckers can be choosy. They like a Nordstrom or some shit, right? They can be choosy, and that's where all the good-looking women go. So they can't just let every swinging dick come in up in there.
I feel like that's the high tier of like, if you're going to the military, you kind of want to go fly a plane and be in the Air
flying
Force.
planes is the shit, man.
You would start there, so everybody wants to go there, so they got to be really picky.
Yeah, that's the Bugatti of military.
What's the Bugatti of the military? That's a rock.
Oh,
that's when the submarine fires its missiles.
I
Bugatti.
stole
Yeah. So after that, I was like, damn, this is gonna be pretty hard to get in the military. So I said, well, let me try again. I can't give up. So I called the Navy, and at this point, it only took one time, and I was all like butt hurt and shit. And I was like, hey guys, I was thinking about joining the military, and I decided to call you. But look, I'm not married. I got 2 kids, and I'm a black guy and everything. I didn't go to college. I don't know if if you don't want to accept me, I'll just go ahead and get off the phone. They're like, fool, we don't care. When can you come down? I'm like, oh man.
Wow, what a difference from the Air Force.
Let me I actually have a serious question. You know how you said they're letting on women onto the boats now?
Yeah.
Do you think like being around that many men for like 2 months is an issue? Because men, we're men. Like, what the fuck?
There's women on the battlefield now too, like right on.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying in that like without the option of escape or seeing other females besides this one. You know what I'm
saying? And I'm glad you asked that question. And I have tried to be a serious advocate for this. I fully support those women being on submarines. And the reason why I say that is because, one, when I was on the boat, there was not enough manpower and didn't have enough people to go around. So if you have somebody willing to come on there and do the job, then why would you turn that down? 2, they make a accommodations for them. They got their own
that's good.
stateroom. They got their own head. So there's no chance of bumping into the guys and stuff. So I think they can stay apart. And the third reason, and you're gonna think I'm wrong for this, but they got some good looking Navy women, but the majority of them ain't that good looking.
Oh shit.
So I don't think you're gonna have to really worry about that.
It's gonna take a certain type of woman to want to put herself in that situation. Yeah. So if this woman is willingly going to this bucket, she can take it. Because why else would you do that?
And the Navy women I've met are all they all can take it. I mean, I don't even look at them as women. They just a sailor. Because they talk shit just like us. Yeah. They'll kick somebody's ass just like us. They'll drink you under the table just like us. So it's like, they no different. So I have no problem with them.
You're right. The manpower is a huge point. You know, I didn't even think about that. If they're already willing to do this, let's, sign them up.
Did your boat ever have to do, or your sub ever have to do some shit like?
Well, I also wanted to know if there were any emergency issues. Was there ever a fire? Any shady moments where you're like, oh, fuck, this could be it. I don't know.
Okay, well, first, to answer your question, did I ever go? You asked if I ever been on some missions and did some stuff. Now, the stuff that I did, I can't tell you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just to be straight up with you, I can't tell you exactly what I did. Now, we did some exercises. We done some bullshit, but the real shit, I can't really tell you.
But you've done some shit.
Yeah, we did some stuff. Man, you would think you were looking at a movie or TV show or some of the shit we did, and I'm like, damn, we really do shit like that? But, like, I can't tell you this. It's not top secret. I won't say anything about it. But I'll tell you what we did. So they had this thing they put on the bottom of our boat, and it was like sonar, but it would scan the bottom of the ocean. And so what we would do is we would fly by altitude. So normally, when we cruising along, we have so much depth between us and the bottom of the ocean. When we fly by altitude, we basically doing just that. We flying so far off the bottom. And we had to maintain that height no matter the contour of the ocean. So if it's dropping off like this, we had to maintain like 50 feet off the bottom. So that made it interesting because, you know, the ocean is deep. Let me be a witness to you. There's a shit ton of goddamn ocean out there. I've been in some deep ass oceans, and you fly by altitude and you're not paying attention. Next thing you know, we getting crushed because we went too deep. So we were testing out this equipment, and basically kind of like how you cut the grass, you go back and forth until the grass is cut. So we did that, and we was trying to find some stuff that was in the bottom of the ocean. We came across one of those World War II fighter planes. We came across a bicycle, and you could see the spokes of the bicycle. It was so fucking clear.
How do you see that shit with a camera?
And by the way, I guess I got to jump in real quick. I actually have a haircut appointment right now.
Oh, fuck off. Get out of here.
I have to get out of here. Yeah, right now.
Beat it, Jock. Thanks for hanging out.
Thanks for hanging.
He's got a 9 o'clock hair appointment.
Yeah, who has a fucking? Is this your dude, your buddy that you go?
Yeah, it's his house, man. I gotta go to his house. He says
so he doesn't have a hair appointment. He's going to his friend's house so he can cut his hair.
Yeah, exactly. And it's getting long. Look at this.
Look,
shit.
It's not easy looking that good, people. That's all. What are you gonna do?
Should I get a haircut?
No, your hair is lovely. You look like fucking Sid Vicious right now. I love it.
I'll see y'all later. I'll enjoy y'all.
Laters, Jock.
I got rock star hair.
We got an open seat. We got those are some amazing stories. No scares, no close calls.
So one time we had a close call. We were getting ready to pull into somewhere in Florida, and they had a storm out, and the sea state was pretty high. I think like between 5 and 7. And sea state just means how big the waves are. And the waves are pretty big. When you start throwing around a 365-foot submarine, you got some pretty good waves. So to pull in, we have to surface, and then we drive on the surface to pull in. So we came to the surface. We was making preparations to traverse on the surface, and the officer of the deck and the lookout go into, you know, the tower that they have on the submarine. They was climbing up the tower so they could get on top, and they drive the submarine from up there. Now, I did mention that it was a bad sea state, right? So they were getting ready to go up. They opened up the hatch. They was getting ready to climb up there, and we took a wave. The submarine submerged back underwater and then came up. Now, it was only like, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 seconds that we were submerged. But the amount of water that came down that hatch was so substantial that it was a bad thing. Now, at the time, I was down the hallway from control. Like I was at one end of the hallway, and down on the other end, I could see control. I could see the guys moving the sticks and everything. I could see them going up into the bridge. And I was standing by to cut the captain's hair because I was his barber. And I seen this big solid column of water come down. Blam! And I was like, oh, shit, you know. Next thing you know, they got water all in control. You know, we got all kind of electronics. Shit's frying and popping and everything. And I was like, oh, man, this is going to be bad. And then I stopped and thought. I said, man, we got a battery well. And if salt water gets in the battery well, it will create chlorine gas. Chlorine gas is worse than fire, worse than smoke, because you will die breathing in chlorine gas, especially on a submarine. So I thought about that, and I took off running. I went downstairs. I went to the torpedo room. In the torpedo room, there's torpedoes, but there are also racks in there for the overflow. And people sleep in there. I grabbed one of the mattresses off of somebody's bed, and I went to the battery well, and I covered up the hatch, and I kept the water from going down into the battery well. And, you know, nobody really said that to me, right? But later on that day, I had to go back out into the engine room, and the nukes owned the battery well. So they said, hey, Stuart, I heard you went and grabbed a mattress and put it over the battery well. I'm like, yeah, man, I didn't want the salt water to go down there. Oh, they'll pat me on the back. Man, that was an outstanding job, man. You did a great fucking job, man. Like, damn, nobody else said nothing to me. Oh, man, you did great. Man, you a fucking sailor. You a fucking hero. And I'm like, wow.
That's awesome. Okay. That's fucking scary as shit, though. Imagine standing there and you just see a column of water and you're like, oh, that's not,
crazy,
that's
man.
not good. That shouldn't be happening right now.
Dude, I just Googled some pictures of fucking interior of a submarine.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm looking at here, if it's anything like what you guys were in, but I would fucking shit my pants if I had to be in this thing.
It's cramped quarters. It's not cramped quarters. I don't know. I'll tell you, I've been on, you know, out here, the Museum of Science and Industry in Chicago. They had that U-505 for years, and it's the coolest thing because you walk around this building and there's literally a fucking submarine on bricks, like sitting there, and you got to go in. And that, I remember as a kid, I loved going into the submarine and walking around. It was pretty big, but I was a kid, so it seemed big. Bye, Angel Hill TV. Thanks for hanging out.
Don't confuse a U-boat with modern day submarines. Those U-boats were small.
Okay.
Like how big was a room? Would you say like the interior? Is it like 12 feet like wide, or how wide is it?
No,
8 feet,
no, not
8
that
feet,
wide.
Maybe.
Let's take the ward room. That's where all the officers and the captain eat and take their meals and stuff. I think the ward room was like maybe, I don't know, 10 foot wide by maybe 15 feet long.
Okay, that's not that bad.
Yeah, that's the size.
Yeah, but that's the ward room. I mean,
that would be the biggest room.
That's somewhere that you was always going to go. You know what I'm saying? It's not many rooms on a submarine. Like, there's a burden, and it's basically a hallway, and they got racks on either side of it. You know, there's the head. You walk in, and there's a hallway, and it's got toilets. You know, it's like everything.
Do you shower in there?
Oh yeah. Listen, you know what? On my boat, there was a total of 6 showers total on that boat with with a maximum
Wow.
amount of people of 150.
You
so
gotta schedule that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much shower
Yeah.
whenever you can when nobody's in there.
right, pretty much that's
Yeah.
what it is because it'll be a line. So you
Yeah.
strategically shower, and then when you shower, it's not like you turn on the water like you're at home and just, it was turn on the water, you get wet, you turn it off, you lather up and everything, you clean yourself, you all good, you turn on the water again, you rinse off, you turn it off.
Honestly,
then,
like that is very. I mean, it's better for water conservation. I sometimes feel like that's how you should take a shower. There should be a little stop button because just think about the gallons of water you're just fucking wasting. It kind of
So
silly.
is there like a desalination machine in the submarine?
Yeah, we had a reverse osmosis steel, and it would do maybe, I think it was 20K an hour. So we had plenty of water, but the thing is, we bring in the water, so that has to go in a tank. Then it has to go through the steel and then go into another tank. But every time you move in water, you move the weight balance of the boat. So you didn't move water around all the time because you would always try to fight the boat.
Can you pull in the salt water in an emergency and desalinate, reverse osmosis that and use it like while you're? Is that how that works, or you have to load the water?
Oh yeah,
Okay,
that's
so
what we
it's
use.
just
We take the salt water and
okay.
make
So
fresh water
technically,
with it.
you don't have a limited supply of water. You just make more, or you suck in more. Yeah.
Well, you can't use it all up at once.
We got all the water we can drink.
You're going to use up a lot of water if you let it run while you're showering. That's the point.
Yeah.
Right. And like I said, you moving water from one tank to another tank. So reason you didn't let that shower just keep going because now you're going from the potable water tank to the gray water tank. So now you're moving water from here to back here, and next thing you know, the boat's doing this. In the water.
Wow.
Wow, I got so much more respect for you now,
Dude, that's crazy.
I mean, I already had a lot to begin with, but now I'm just like admire you as a
Man has been in.
I don't know. I could never do that.
Right?
Like, I can't even fucking sit in one of those. Like, I can't sit in anything small. I'm tiny.
A smart car makes Rugboy nervous. That's what it is.
Yeah.
No, but see, I would be claustrophobic in a smart car. I had plenty of room on the submarine. I mean, I think that's just a big misconception because everybody thinks it's small. Like, we did a tiger cruise, and a tiger cruise is when you're able to bring a family member aboard, and we go out to sea and show them exactly what we do. So I brought my brother on board, and he was like, "Oh man, I don't know if I want to go in there. It's so small, and I don't want to feel claustrophobic." I said, "Look, I promise you, you're not going to feel claustrophobic. It's going to be way bigger than you think." So he came on board. As soon as he got on board, he was like, "Okay, this is not too tiny." After spending a week on there, shit,
I think
he felt like he was on a cruise line.
Human beings are very adaptable, and I think you would just get used to it. Be like, "This is my space now."
It'll feel like you're in a one-bedroom apartment. I mean, you should see my place. If you
Listen,
can stay in my
Rugs,
place, you can go to something.
these submarines are bigger than fucking one bedrooms in Greenwich Village in New York City.
Oh, it's probably bigger than my basement, but it's all mind over matter. It's like when it's just me thinking about. It's not whether it's too small. It's like me thinking about being under thousands of pounds of fucking water.
There's no way to get out.
Surrounded by fucking whatever fucking fish are in the water that want to eat my little fucking tiny testicles.
Here's the thing: you can't just go home. That's the problem.
Yeah.
You know what? The main thing that would probably bother you is the fact that you're not.
Yeah, what about like if you want it from fresh air? You want to go outside and feel the wind on your face.
Well, I mean, really and truthfully, you on a submarine, you accept some truths, and one of the truths is you're not finna walk outside.
Did you ever get to go out of the tube, like in the middle of the ocean, and check it out, or is that just like the captain does that?
Oh, go in the middle of the ocean.
Like if the submarine surfaces and you get to like pop your head out of the tube.
Oh, one time when we was in the Bahamas, the captain gave us a swim call. We surfaced. Everybody got to get out there and swim in the middle of the oceon. I tell you what, that's a big swimming pool.
That's great though.
I would fucking be fucking so scared to swim in that ocean.
Like, nah.
I didn't do it. Let me tell you, they was out there swimming, and I went to the sail to be lookout. So to be helpful, let somebody else get out there and do it. Because I wasn't getting my black ass in no.
Me neither. I wouldn't get my black ass in there either.
No, don't do it. Don't do it, felt
Did you
No,
felt
that
boy?
comes
I like felt boy. Rugboy the felt boy. Did you fuck with them and just yell shark every so often?
Well, no, I didn't have to fuck with him because a nurse shark came up and all kind of shit was coming up, looking at him like, "What y'all doing?" I'm like, "Man, y'all stupid."
Yeah, it was just like you just rang the lunch bell.
Yeah, really. There's some food. Yeah,
serving white meat.
White meat, pick it up.
But you know what, Rugboy, to help you out, because you were saying how you got all this water outside and everything. You seen an egg. I know you seen an egg because you like to eat. I like to eat.
Yeah.
You can tell. But you know how that egg is shaped and it's really strong and it really takes a really good crack to open it to get the yolk out. Imagine that submarine just like that egg. The hull is pretty much made just like that. And now it doesn't just have the outside skin. There's also an inside skin. A lot of people don't understand that. So it's basically two hulls to make up that submarine. One is called a P tank, it's called an island. But it's not going to just pop on you. Look, matter of fact, in 2000, let me get this right. 2006, the USS San Francisco hit a seamount. They hit the shit out that seamount. They in the front of the boat, they got 3 ballast tanks, huge ass tanks that hold air. That's what keeps it on the surface. They hit that seamount so hard they done went through all 3 of those ballast tanks. And that's significant.
Wow.
It still surfaced, came to the top, and drove. They drove it all the way back to They drove it to Guam.
Wow.
And they made it, and they had some injuries. One person died, but they hit. Imagine they hit this seamount like you in a car doing 30 miles an hour, hitting the side of a building.
Damn.
That's pretty crazy.
But I imagine these things are built to take torpedoes and missile hits. You know,
I mean, it's a warship, so I wouldn't be scared. I never was scared of that. I was never scared of that because, and I'm gonna tell you the real reason why I wasn't scared. So I learned a valuable lesson when I was in the Navy. I learned that angels really exist, and the reason they exist because there's an angel that follows every retarded person. And when I say retarded, I don't mean mentally challenged. I mean stupid people.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so I must have lots of angels.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know. You may have a couple of them. I'm not sure. But I knew for every stupid person, there was an angel watching over us. And we had a lot of stupid people. So I said, I know we're always going to pull in because them angels are in the outfield.
Okay. I'll go with that.
Yeah.
That's why stupid people survive so much shit. And when you're like, natural selection should have killed you a long time ago, how are you still alive?
You see what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
You start thinking about it and you be like, wow, that really makes sense.
Yeah.
Some people have 2 or 3.
Yeah. No, that does make a lot of sense because you're like, how the fuck is this dude still living?
It makes more sense than you think.
Yeah. Like, how is this dude still breathing? And there's an angel just pushing on his chest.
All right. Well, guys, what should we do? I had this idea also. Remember we talked last week to do a little podcast about podcasting. Ruggs, what do you want to do? I feel like we should stop this recording and start a new blab and then just hang out.
Oh, okay.
What do you think? You still got some time? Maybe just for another hour.
Another hour?
Or not, or however long. I just want to ask 2 right questions.
I can maybe stay on for like 30 minutes.
Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm gonna okay. Oh, I can pause. All right. Well, thanks for watching this